There it is. So they said they had a quorum. All right, 9 o'clock, please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday morning. First on the agenda is approve the minutes as written from January 8th, 2024.
Also move, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second that. Moved by Meeks, seconded by McCurry. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes.
All abstain.
You will abstain, that's right. You gotta call it. Housing Authority, Rhonda. Well, I guess we'll go ahead. Go ahead. No, we better do miscellaneous motions. Okay. Sorry, Rhonda. Yeah, we better do this before we conduct any more business. Miscellaneous motions. Any motions for Chairman of Coffee County Commission Board?
Go ahead.
No, Mr. Chairman, I'll nominate our present chairman, Jesse Knight, to be our chairman for 2024.
I'll second that. Motion's been to appoint Jesse Knight as the chairman of Coffee County Commission Board. Moved by Meeks, seconded by McCurry. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. I guess I vote, don't I?
I don't know if you can vote for yourself.
Oh, do you vote for
Still be
yourself? Still be four.
4-1.
Next one is move to appoint a vice chairman for the Coffee County Board of Commission for year 2024.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to appoint Tom Hughington as Vice Chairman for the Coffee County Board of Commissioners for the year 2024.
Motion is to appoint, or to nominate Tom Hughington as Vice Chair.
I'll second that.
Moved by McCurry, seconded by Thompson. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye, motion passes.
Sorry, guys, you still got to carry the torch.
We'll do it as long as we can hold it up.
We're in good hands.
Yes, we are.
We'll continue the way we are.
Appreciate it very much, guys.
We try. Moved to authorize director chairman to sign 3 tax abatements of amount of $1,094.74. Let's see, it's Gridley. What's the reason behind it?
I usually read these trees.
I didn't read them.
Correction of the property classification was made, resulting in a reduction in the assessed value.
Have we only got 2 on our book?
Yeah, there's 2 on it.
There's
They
supposed to
changed
be 3.
Well, then was a Ford pickup registered as commercial on the date it was registered, and then it turned into personal property error. The other is just the classification of property. I do know it goes from commercial to residential or vice versa. It does change in value.
Pretty sizable.
Yeah.
I so move.
I'll second.
Been moved by Thompson, seconded by McCurry. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye, motion passes. I think that's last motions. I think that's it. Now we can come up to the Housing Authority. Rhonda.
I have actually 2 properties today. The first one is Robert and Beverly Foster. They live at 115 North 6th Street in New Strawn. there was a fire. They're gonna try to rebuild, but they need to waive the landfill fees for that, structure.
I'll also move.
I'll second that.
Moved by Meach, seconded by, Thompson to waive landfill fees. Any discussion?
Having recently gone through a situation like this, I do know my insurance paid for cleanup of my area.
They did, and we've been talking to the insurance, I've got some of the insurance paperwork here and stuff, for the demolition and everything, because they didn't pay quite enough and everything, so, or I should say the homeowner felt like that to rebuild and everything, so I guess that's up to you guys, what you wanna waive them.
So the insurance is not paying for
They're-
cleanup?
It's kind of a very strange deal. I don't know. Like, he is trying to do this kind of on his own without going through his insurance as of yet. He's notified them, and he may take advantage of it later, but that's what I was trying to figure out, because I was asked, is there any demolition, in that? And they said, yeah, there was some, and that he had some for the cleanup and everything, but usually in the past, it's never been quite enough to get it all done.
Do
I don't-
we need to do some discovery on
I mean, we're just doing the,
Well, you're,
We're
yeah.
leaving the landfill fees, but I guess what I'm saying is mine, there was ample enough money by the time I got the bids and paid for landfill fees and all. Or I'd have been in asking to waive the landfill fees, I guess, but that's my question, I guess. Because mine covered landfill, every, and the cleanup of the contractor I hired and everything. I didn't do it in-house, I didn't do it myself. I hired Mr. Graybill, like the county usually does. And
Yes.
he included landfill fees and everything. Plenty of money there. So that's, I guess, my question, so.
Might depend on your policy and what you pay up front for a policy
Exactly.
versus.
And he's just saying that, he would like to take advantage of getting the landfill fees waived. And the insurance company won't really discuss with me his personal policies, but I guess what I'm on that.
Who moved it? Meach, did you move?
It was Dawn and
it?
Wade.
Do we
yeah.
need to have some more evaluation on it?
I don't know, that was just a question.
I
mean,
know,
it's up
I know.
to you guys. I mean,
Is he wanting to do this? right
They're
away?
actually working on it.
Okay.
When does it burn?
I mean, it was a 4th of July
Oh,
deal.
okay, I remember this
Yeah.
one, yeah.
So it's been a while, and we've been working with him, and we've been saying, get us information.
I see.
And yeah, it's taken this long to even get to this
Okay.
point.
Yeah, I know it is now, okay.
Okay.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
And the second one is Kendall Gunlock. The property is at 1445 C Street, Leroy. He has purchased this house, and as you can see, it's pretty tore up inside and everything. He wants to take it down and then rebuild it into kind of a shed house for rental, and he's using Graybill to do that.
No, we wouldn't have a full meeting.
Yoho's.
I'm sorry.
Yoho's.
Did they have a fire, or did they have water
No.
damage?
It's
Oh, just,
kind of tore up and
okay.
Damage.
Is the whole house looks like the inside of this one picture? It's,
Yep, pretty much. I didn't print them all off because I figured you probably wouldn't want to see everything, but yeah, it's all about like
So he
that.
just wanted to,
He just wants to tear it
Tear
down
down.
to the foundation and then build back up. So we're not even gonna have concrete, they'll go.
Okay.
I kinda forgot that he did own that. I'll also move that we waive the landfill.
I'll second that.
moved by Meach, seconded by McCurry, waive landfill fees for Gunlock property in Leroy. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
You.
Stay warm. That Ryan guy, Road and Bridge Superintendent, Ryan Lewis.
Good morning.
Ryan.
So call outs, basically the last week has been a call out, so we've been pretty busy with snow and storms and wind. I'm sure you guys are very well aware, so we put a lot of hours in, and a lot of equipment hours in this last week. So definitely had its challenges at times. You know, this storm was, we haven't had one quite this big for quite some time, just the depth of snow and the wind for drifting, you know, it wasn't just east-west roads, it was north-south, it was everything. So it, you know, when it's something that magnitude, it takes time to get over all your roads and try to keep them open. But I know it was a challenging week, but we got through it, and we're continuing on today. You know, this stuff we had to move through yesterday and get the asphalt roads, hopefully going today with a little sunshine, and continue to work on the gravel roads, try to get them widened out, where all the drifting was, and just continue to work forward on all that stuff.
Some of them, I don't know how much you can move them much wider unless you got a bulldozer that's pushing.
Well, yeah, you can manipulate your blade and get your blade shifted out in ways to move it on back. So that's kind of what we'll be working on this week. Just continue get as much of that away from the roadway as we can, getting it off the road. So.
How many vehicles do you have available for that? You got your graders, and then you got blades on your truck too?
Yeah, so with 7 plow trucks for the asphalt, and then on our maintainers, we have 8 section blades and a couple spares. You know, we have a blade that's down right now, so it wasn't available. And, had a few issues there Saturday with some blades gelling up and some issues just with the cold weather that you typically have to deal with. But all in all, we got through not too bad equipment wise with the extreme temperatures anyway.
It was cold.
Yeah.
It is cold.
Yeah.
Get as cold as it is, and banging iron around gets pretty brutal.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. Yeah, but so my first motion, probably not gonna be a surprise, but we're ready to go bid some salt, so, for this upcoming year. So basically this is just, get the process started, so we go out and get some bids, and go from there, so.
Motion. Based upon the recommendation of the Road and Bridge Superintendent to approve the Road and Bridge Superintendent's request to solicit formal bids for seasonal restocking de-icing salt material to be delivered FOB County Shop. The purchase of the de-icing salt shall be paid by Road and Bridge Fund.
I so move.
I'll second.
Moved by Thompson, seconded by McCurry. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you. The next motion is just 2024 rock quotations. You know, we don't really have to get commission approval on this, but I'd like to go ahead and get it just so you guys can kind of see the prices. Basically, compare this to last year's rock prices. The AB3 and road rock has gone up anywhere from a quarter to 75 cents a ton. The D50, really the 4-inch stuff has gone up a little more, around $3 a ton. And that was, I mean, every quarry was about the same across the board from where we were last year on those prices.
Motion 2024-03, based upon recommendation of the Road and Bridge Superintendent, move to approve the Road and Bridge Superintendent's request to solicit, oh, wait a minute, wrong one. Whoop, back up, strike that. 2023-70, rock location summary. I guess move to approve it? Motion to approve it?
We don't have a motion, like you said.
Yeah, like I said, we don't really even need a motion.
You guys just get to rock wherever you're at anyway, for the most part.
Right,
This
right.
just sets the pricing in at $7.50.
I think we kind of always have approved it, but if it's necessary,
Yeah, I mean, in the past, some years we have, some years we haven't had a motion. I know by policy, you don't have to have a motion for purchase of rock. So,
Because on the rock, you just get the rock wherever, where you're located in the county.
yeah, pretty much if they got what we need, so, yeah. So, I know last week I mentioned maybe minimum maintenance road, next round of that today. I'm not ready for that. I just still have to do my final drive-through on the roads before I bring that list to you guys, so we're a week or two out before I'll probably make it down some of them roads.
Did you say you were doing northwest?
Northwest.
Okay.
Northwest will be the next round. Last thing, I would like to request an executive session for the board, myself and Wade, to discuss job performance of non-elected personnel. 15 minutes, I think will be enough.
I'll show you.
I'll second that.
Moved by Meeks, seconded by Thompson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye, motion passes. 15-minute executive session. We will enter at 9:16 for 15 minutes. Nope, sorry.
Doing good, how are you?
9:17. Yeah, mine's saying 9:15 right now.
Oh, yeah, they are, that's right.
Don't know how it gets.
That was on.
All right, no action taken on executive session. What else you got for us, Ron?
That's it, that's the last thing I had.
That's it?
If you guys got any questions on anything, I'll try to answer them, but
No, but I do want to thank Road and Bridge for,
Just what I was gonna say.
getting out on the roads, and Sunday morning, Station 7 had a fire out in the country, and, your guys made sure that we had a way to get in. Adam was out there, and we really appreciate that.
yeah, well, you know, I will say, as we're out there on these storms, there's times, I think there was one morning before sunup that the wind was blowing so hard that it was white out. There's times that it's not safe for us to run our equipment and our guys, you know, but there's situations, emergency personnel, and we have to get them. I know that we had something the other morning that, we had an EMT jump in with Adam Hoke, and we got up to the guy's house, you know, dealing with some
Oh, yeah.
something out there, and I mean, so we'll do what we have to get emergency
Thank
personnel
you
where
very
they
much.
need to go, but,
You guys do a good job.
Appreciated very much.
well, thank you. Our guys work hard, and they're dedicated. They're dedicated to snow and ice especially, so.
One thing I had was another compliment from a taxpayer up in my area, that the guys did a great job clearing the snow. There was one concern he had was a intersection of Trefoil and 21st Road south of Waverly, which this is Don's area. South of Waverly Road
That'd be mine.
to the east is a dead end, goes back into electrical equipment. That's a wind farm road.
Yes, it is.
He's asking about a stop sign that comes out of that wind farm road. I mean, it is a private drive, but man, it's hitting a blacktop road.
Wind Farms put that in, it's right north of Melvin Bundy's place, the 21st, and it goes right there, and that's a wind farm road.
Yeah.
And I think you guys are, I don't mean to interject, but.
I
think
know,
you
I've
guys-
had discussion with the wind farm before, and they were gonna look at the possibilities of putting up a stop sign, but I mean, that's a regulated sign, so I don't, you know, it's not even an open road, so I don't know exactly if we can or can't put a stop sign there.
Is there a sign that says private drive?
I don't even know that.
My thing is possibly that if somebody that doesn't know the area drives in there, which we understand the world that we're living in today, comes back out and does not realize that it's coming out onto a blacktop road and blows through that intersection. Or is it a T, would that be a T intersection coming out?
Yeah, that's just a T, yeah, there's not a road going across
There's a road to the west side.
to the west of it,
Yeah.
but Wind Farms put that road in.
Right, no, I understand.
And I think the same person reached out and here a while back, and I went out and took a look at it, then I stopped and talked to Wind Farms. And they said, well, they could put up a private drive sign or something like that.
I think that would cover their rear end and ours as well.
Yeah,
Because I'm not sure that they can put up a stops.
I would say no, but that would be an engineer question there, dealing with a regulatory sign like that.
Put up a dead-end road.
It goes up to
That
the,
wouldn't answer it either, I mean.
it goes up to the, wind farm generating station,
Little substation there.
substation, that is what it is, and, it,
I mean, if it's not marked private drive, anybody can drive up that road. They really ought to have it gated.
That'd be the best.
the rest of wind farms are gated. I mean, going into,
To their windmills.
yeah, most of them,
Most of them.
yeah.
So I'll talk with them and see, and I don't, like I say, I know they had talked, like Steve said, they had talked about putting some sort of signage up there. So the private drive, I think, would definitely make sense, something easily that they could do. But, yeah.
Okay. That was just, I told them I'd bring it up Tuesday at the meeting, so.
And it is a well-maintained road. I mean, they've got it gravelled, and they maintain,
Well, that's what I'm saying, some Bob from
yeah.
out of the area that doesn't know boo about the area, drives down that road and flips around and comes back out and doesn't see a stop sign and blows out across that blacktop road.
Yeah,
I mean, it is a liability.
it is liability.
Is it also a field entrance for the farm?
I know they use it. I don't know that.
I think they're using it, I don't think it's, I think the field entrance is to go through the driveway of the house and back through the,
I'm not sure if it's field entrance, but I bet they do use it.
yeah, they do.
It's gonna be a wider turn, it's gonna be wider everything.
Or it's a nicer road.
Nicer road, everything else, of
Yeah,
course
it's
they're
a
gonna
nice,
use
it's a nice
it, but
road.
that's probably why it's not gated, would be my guess.
Yeah, you can't get a gate 40 foot.
I just, it's not gonna be a local person that blasts through that intersection, it's gonna be somebody from out of town.
Yeah.
I mean, could take
Right.
a wrong turn,
Right.
you know, that's just my thing. See what they can do, see what they would do.
Dead end from there, they might force them to back out and not go down the road if they're not familiar.
Private
Private
drive.
road, dead end road.
Yeah,
And
I'll
we got
have
that
another
road.
conversation with the wind farm, see if they've come up with anything they're gonna put up there, so.
Okay.
On that, that's all I got. Thanks for you guys' hard work this
Two
weekend.
things for Ryan. One, the commissioners right outside on the new angle parking, the last two stalls to the south, have identified as areas where putting up signage for on-duty law enforcement. Are those signs that you could
Fabricate?
Make,
fabricate
yeah.
and assist with installing?
Yeah, probably. I'll get with Janet and,
Okay.
I don't know what templates they got for those signs, but I know there's similar signs around the county, like at schools typically is what you're looking at. It's reserved for sheriffs. Do some looking at that and then look at them temporary basis probably like we've been looking at, or, yeah, we can look at it and see. I'll get back with you and see what we come up with.
I guess a similar conversation, this sign right here, it probably needs to be redone. So this is a sign that was on the west side when parents come in and they were exchanging children and they wanted to do it in a safe zone. This is where they would pull up, and then why it's important to have is in a day and time where we have parents who get into it and domestic violence of some sort has been a problem, but they still have to exchange their children. They come here and they do so where it's going to be recorded, and there's less of an issue when people know they're being recorded. Well, now that the backside or the west side of the courthouse is not an option, now we don't have that service that is vitally important. So the sheriff and I were looking at different locations where this could be reestablished, and directly outside to the east doors, and then to the north on the other side of the two handicap stalls. It's in the viewpoint of cameras and if there's an issue. So the recommendation would be this sign, maybe have it redone, but be put up next to the two handicap stalls. And then a sign be designed and put up directly below this, because usually if there was an issue, instead of exchanging right outside, they would go inside the sheriff's office. Well, they can't do that now. So to have a sign directly underneath that says something to the effect, if you need assistance, contact dispatch, and then whoever is on duty, if they're available, whether it be city or county, could come and just be an extra set of eyes. In my opinion, I think that's something important that be reestablished, and at least until the new jail is up and running, they'll probably be able to utilize that. But for the next 18 months, this needs to be something that is reestablished, so that whoever it is feels safe. Because if they're utilizing this, there may be an issue.
The cameras are there now.
The camera is out, and I had the sheriff look into it, and then we have, it points directly out. The best angle is right outside here. So.
Can I take that sign with me?
Yes. Is that something?
Gotta have a place for it,
Okay.
sounds like, so
Yeah.
if the camera hits that area, I don't know. You good?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give it Janet,
What are
sign
the,
person, and
where else will be,
I don't know if there is another
yeah.
good spot around the courthouse. If it's not around the courthouse, then it would have to be somewhere else, and I don't know
Yeah.
where that would be. But I do know there are a number of parents that utilize that exchange, and right now they don't have a location to do that. And
Have you been contacted with concerns towards this?
no, I'm
You
staying
have
ahead
not?
of it. This is trying to stay ahead of anticipated issues and concerns, and that's one that I think needs to be addressed immediately.
Do we need,
You got our support, or my support, for whatever you need to do, so.
The last thing, while Ryan's here, Ryan's been working really hard behind the scenes on the road use agreement with NextEra for that high voltage transmission line. I don't think words can probably capture what he's done to sort of help deal with, identify culverts that will need to be replaced and worked on to set it up to where roads that will be traveled during the course of that project, that county equipment and resources will be utilized, but will be reimbursed by NextEra as a part of that road use agreement. The dust control for identified properties that are within that route that will be reimbursed by NextEra. The idea and concept of having somebody in-house and a consultant that will both be identified and work on behalf of the county as a part of this project and be reimbursed by NextEra. And, well, there's something else, or does that cover the?
that's majority of it.
Those are the majority of things. I will tell you, other counties did not go through those efforts that are along the route, but it's been something that Ryan and I have worked on for quite some time. The majority of it has been Ryan behind the scenes working with the engineering firm for NextEra to say, here's the concerns, here's what it looks like, and all these different things that have been identified. There's 9 culverts that have been identified along the route that it's my understanding NextEra has agreed to reimburse the county to have those replaced as a part of this project. I think it's, Ryan needs the credit for that.
It's not just me, I got people, I mean, definitely they helped me through some of that stuff, but it's been a long, like May of '22 was the first conversation we had about this project, and it's just, finally to the point now that hopefully we're I know there was a meeting yesterday I had to miss out on because of the storm, yesterday afternoon, but hopefully we've got everything about squared away, with NextEra, and hopefully get this thing signed, so I'm ready for it. I know Wade is, so.
The agreement is in its, final stages. It's being, with the information that Ryan provided, I went through and revised it. I mean, it was a pretty significant revision.
Mhm.
And then I've met with the attorneys for NextEra. They are reviewing it on the legal side, and I anticipate it'll be before you, if not next week, possibly the following week. But, just so you know, that's been moving behind the scenes, and Ryan and his team, I'll say that, have worked really hard on protecting the interests of Coffee County, its infrastructure and its citizens. So,
I think right now for scheduling, March 1st is the proposed start date to start with some tree clearing. I know they would have started here a month or two ago, but but right now, March 1st, I think, is their projected start date on that portion of it.
Yeah, you mentioned it once that they were gonna try to start,
Yeah,
probably a couple of months ago.
they wanted to start last October, but we weren't quite ready. Didn't have everything in line yet, so.
They start putting the line in, are they gonna start here, or are they gonna start south and come this way? It don't make any difference.
I'd say they're working at various portions of the project, just wherever they can get approval to go in and start working. It's probably, where they've got some of the work started already, so.
Appreciate everything.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
Everybody have a
you.
good week.
You too.
All right, got this young lady in the back room sitting long enough.
Oh, gosh, it's my favorite place to sit.
Back of the class?
Yeah. So anyways, I turned in a resignation letter. Did they get a copy of that?
Yeah.
And essentially, when I filed to run for mayor, I was made aware that I wouldn't be able to have both positions. And so I used a lot of time and thought, and I've been on the board. This would be, the last year of my 5th term. So 14 years in, and everybody's got their own gifts and everything. And I approached a gentleman, and I was like, hey, if this happens, would you be open to taking the hot seat? And he said absolutely, and he supported me in that. And even though things didn't go that direction, it wasn't like I was going to go back and be like, hey, just kidding, don't need you anymore. I put a lot of thought into it. And he's been around the fire team longer than I have. And I wanted to make sure that the board back you guys up, and I wanted to make sure that there was someone really strong in the position that was a good mix. And anyways, Mr. Bill Adams said that he would be more than happy to take the seat. And I said, Bill, if something comes up and give me a call back, I definitely come back. And I said, if they start running water around this county, I said, just make sure that you measure twice and cut once, because I know that we need some water out there where it isn't, and he's used every hydrant there is, and you got Steve in here, and anyways, I think it'd be a great stack for the
I know
deck.
you've done a good job.
Thank you.
You've been good support for the fire district.
Yeah, so I mean,
We got Bill's, application too, read through it, so you got my full support on it, so,
perfect.
both ways.
So if, you're able to accept him into the position, I would endorse that.
Very well, thank you for your 14 years of work with us.
Hey, guys, yes, thank y'all. Thank you, Angie, for everything.
Thank you.
Yes. Thanks
Good
for
luck
backing
to you.
those guys
Yeah,
up all the
yeah,
way.
Thank you.
I said, if my house is on fire, come put me out. I live so close to the fire department, they're gonna make me fix it. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel.
No, and Bill will make Bill will make a good man on that board.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Motion to accept resignation of Danielle Elberk from the Coffee County Fire Board effective immediately, January 16th, 2024.
So move.
Second. Moved by Huguet, seconded by McCurry. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. You're officially resigned.
Never did that before, so.
The next is motion to appoint Bill Adams as a member of the Coffee County Fire Board to fill an unexpected term effective immediately, January 16th, 2024, and ending December 31st, 2024.
Unexpired term, yeah.
Unexpired term. Moved by Huguet,
Second that.
seconded by Thompson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye, motion passes.
Awesome. Y'all are in great hands out there.
I'm sure we are.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We're to our 9:50 break. Unless we want to just keep on rolling. Okay. Anybody need a break?
Take
Thanks,
one
Lou.
on the way down.
Yeah.
Take a few minutes on.
Oh, yeah, we can take one on our way down.
I'll go ahead and slide those around.
Enough for,
Angie
I
and
have one.
you got one? Oh, okay.
I handed those out in advance. So these are what was referenced last week as far as the consumer price index for the Midwest region. There are, it's 4 pages. That just came out last week on the 11th. The highlighted areas, on page 1, it says the CPI ending December of 2023 for the calendar year was 3.2. You go to page 2, I've taken the liberty to highlight the very bottom, and it shows you what the CPI was for 2019, 20, 21, 22, and 23, respectively. 19, 2.3, 20, 1.1, 21, 7.5, 22, 6.0, and for 2023, 3.2. And that historically has been what this board has looked at when considering cost of living, analyzing cost of living for county employees for each given year. So I only mentioned that, and I handed it out instead of putting it up on the screen so you can review that, digest it, and then I think it's on the agenda for next week.
Thank you.
Have you got that one page, or I know you can supply it, it's got about 15 years of history on it.
Yes, I can get that for you.
If you could supply that to us, I'd like to see that.
Yes, I will.
Last year we did 6%.
Yeah, it was pretty substantial last year.
Well,
But
Everything
but the
went
year
up.
before that was,
yeah.
I think the year before,
50 cents.
22, we just went cents
Cents per hour.
Yep.
Last year we went percentage, and normally percentage is what they've done, but look and see what that recap sheet shows.
Back to that argument again. About,
I just call it
I
discussion.
still think it ought to be cents per hour.
In what way?
I think it ought to be cents per hour.
I'm pretty strong on that too. And that's what we did
Everybody's,
2 years ago.
stuff goes up. Person on the bottom of the pay scale and the one on the top of the pay scale. But I know the other side of the argument too, and I understand it too.
And the step increase is all 1.5, it is a percent.
Yeah,
what are you thinking time-wise? for your executive session?
20 minutes. We'll start there.
I was just gonna get the clock set.
And just so you know, there's, River City is having their kickoff meeting with their contractors starting at 10 o'clock. And that should go from 10 to 11:30. That's a meeting where they talk about, my understanding is, sort of rules and expectations and, the plan moving forward. Some of them will be here in person, some I think are appearing by Zoom. And then that will lead into the 11:30. At this point, I'd request that the commission, the board move into an executive session with myself, Sam Green, by phone from Fisher Patterson. It will be under the attorney-client exception to the Kansas Open Meetings Act. It will be specific to discuss ongoing legal issues or concerns surrounding a county agreement
For 20 minutes.
for 20 minutes.
Also move.
I'll second that.
20-minute executive session, County Councilor, Sam Green with Fisher Patterson and the board. Moved by Hugutin, seconded by Meats. Any discussion?
Yeah, Meats
Oh,
moved.
Meats
Me
moved.
and Steve.
Oh, you and Steve, sorry. That's all. Moved by Meats, seconded by Curry. All right, I'll get this straight. Any discussion?
It's Sam by phone.
Yes. By phone. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're gonna take a little break on the way down. We'll enter at, 10:00, we gotta be on the clock with him, 10:05. We'll
I just
enter
have to give them a call.
10:05, give us another minute, 10:06. We'll enter at 10:06 for 20 minutes. Come on.
Same thing.
Same thing, same people. Get my stupid clocks in.
Estimate.
10:15. I think we'll go 20.
Will you?
Yeah.
I think we can find something to talk about, sounds like.
Well.
I think, I'm on the subject, I mean.
All right, we're gonna go back for motion to go back for another 20 minutes under the same, motion as previously.
So moved. I'll second that.
Moved by Hugutin, seconded by Thompson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. We'll enter at, 10:30.
Yes. Everybody knows it's for the same.
Yep. 10:28 by my clock.
10:28,
Yep, 10:28.
but you're going in at
10:30.
10:30.
It's on now. Was the switch on when we come back? No, it was not. When we come back for our,
Did we go back in?
to go back in,
Yes.
it was on when we went out the second time?
I'm sure it was.
No, it was turned off when we went down, and somebody just turned it on.
Right, but was it on when we come back to go back for another
I think it was.
executive
I'm
session?
sure it was.
Okay. I don't
If it
remember.
wasn't, I apologize.
Yeah, sorry.
In fact, when I came back up and I flipped it on, the light blinked, it blinked twice. They were just real quick.
no, what am I gonna say?
No action?
No action on the last two executive sessions. One subject to executive session.
This should fall in line with.
Okay,
That's
You're
a
up.
reissue.
a reissue? Okay.
All the numbers match up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
19.
you already signed it, one was
Where's
bid.
she? Oh, okay. Oh, this is.
The 21, which is going back in time, that these
Oh, okay.
numbers and
That sheet we have to.
And then over here, it represents,
what was implemented, so that year we can follow the CPI of that year.
Okay, so we don't need to prove your business.
Yeah.
Based on nothing. 30 cents.
Alright. We
Oh,
won't
yeah.
go through that, and the round table
everything is
afterwards.
except for,
13th, my special
I can understand.
Last year, followed
The cost of living.
Oh, I missed the checks in that, didn't I? On that, was in that book. How did you do guessing the 13th month total?
I haven't checked yet or anything like that, but I mean, we'll have to build it into the next couple months.
Oh,
But regardless, even if we did too much, the auditors are not gonna have a lot.
Right,
of
right.
So she assured me to not worry about that.
Yeah, I guess, right? Shovels, yeah. Shovel something, right?
That's what I was wondering. Sunlight looks good out there now.
Even though it's only gonna get to about 10.
Yeah, I still feel a whole lot better out there.
That's a 20-degree swing.
It is, it's a real perk, you know.
It's 2.7 degrees out there right now.
2.7? We're getting way too technical.
Just the FYI. It's above 0. That's a plus.
Yeah. My hot water had been froze up for 2 days in my kitchen. Everything else was going, not the kitchen.
You don't leave the doors open?
We did, and tried to keep it running, and it still froze.
And it faces north?
Faces south, west a little bit, more south and west, or, yeah, southwest.
Did you put check from there? From there.
There.
Yeah, I left mine open
Mhm.
and hoped it wasn't freeze.
Yeah. Yeah, the hot water froze at my office too. Not any hot water there. And that's PVC pipe, I just hope it holds.
Speaking of the boil water, it might be.
Really?
Yeah.
Coffee County Ambulance,
Oh, distribution.
hospital,
First of the year, big.
did we get anything else from the state on the veto tax thing? When will that show up? Have we gotten another payment from them?
If you've gotten one in December or here in January maybe, and then, next will be April.
I don't know how long it takes once the quarter ends, because they pay quarterly, don't they?
Yes.
So
And
we're-
last time they got it started in April and then it was your first check until June.
Till June, so. I was wondering what it was looking like after they got TA straightened out
Yeah.
on their tax.
They finally get them lined out, didn't they?
Hopefully.
Hopefully, they just said they was working with them to get it taken care of.
I can check with Amy at the state and find out. I know Bobby had talked to her and said that they hadn't gotten anything.
Wade, is River City Construction, they're coming in here to make a presentation to start with?
Yes. I'm not sure which one you'll get though. We have Warren's here, Ryan's here, and Cole is here. Just so you're aware, speaking of resolutions, if you remember the Sunday alcohol sales resolution that was in essence self-authenticating, I believe we are past the time period when if somebody wanted to file a protest petition of some sort, to my knowledge, no such petition has been filed with the clerk's office, so it should be in effect now, which would mean whoever is in the unincorporated areas of the county, I think the ones that were most interested were up in Vita. Should be able to move forward, and I think it would require sending that resolution to, someone in the state, ABC or the alcohol beverage control. I believe that's right. I can go back and look at the statute, but
They can go ahead and start selling.
well, I think they probably want to make sure that it's green lighted by
State.
whoever it is that controls those licenses, just so. Because if you go somewhere, they have signs up that say sales approved on Sunday sales approved, and it usually will say the starting time and the end time. But I don't know if that's a requirement that they have or not.
Don't we have to sign the beverage? No, we've got a beverage sale, just not on Sundays, so we wouldn't have to sign it.
Yeah, they already have their licenses.
It seems like the starting date was projected to be mid-January, but I forget the exact date.
I thought it was, if I remember right, January 9th, between 9th and 11th, if I remember right.
The ninth, I think, was the final.
Yeah, it would have been on the 61st day. So we had calculated that at one point, but.
Yeah, you and I was on the phone about that.
If that one's done,
I think so. Find out.
I'm gonna break them apart right in Hannibal.
Pardon me?
You just died.
Yeah.
This is 2,080 hours a year.
One more yet. Yeah. So like I said, got all the charges, starting here, where you can read it instead of going through all the steps.
I see. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, that's the part I was made.
Oh, okay, okay, I didn't see that. Thank you.
Everything in that bunch there, the way it goes in the yellow folder.
Does this go in there too?
Yes. Yes.
Everything so far goes. Is that clip? Here's one entity we may have had in every year. Coffee County Sheriff's Department. Annual corrections policy manual and daily training bulletin. Seems like we've had that every year, but I could vary.
Who's the vendor on that?
Oh, it's $7,500.
That's through the sheriff's department.
It's Sheriff's Department. Seems like we've had that before when that company back. I wouldn't think it'd be enough changes where it'd have to have update manuals every year.
Stillman,
Lexical,
Alexa, yeah, so
on
it's
law enforcement.
It's Sheriff's Department.
it's my understanding is it's a provider that provides, support services and yearly updates that
I think we've had this every year.
specific to corrections and on the law enforcement side, because that's an ever-evolving and changing field that you have to stay on top of.
You say Lexapro, is it online training?
Some of it,
I think, yeah, it's online training, I believe, a part of it is anyway.
My brain hurts when I look at that stuff.
medication for the jail. Oh, I think so.
It is. Some of those medications are very expensive.
I know.
That's your watchdog?
Yeah. I have to keep an eye
Sounds pretty fierce.
on.
Love car stuff.
Sure is, isn't it?
Pardon?
Sure is, isn't it?
8,000 on that one.
And this is all sheriff stuff.
That's all sheriff.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we'll hire more of that.
Yeah.
God, I love broken down trucks. Yeah, it started at 7 o'clock this morning. My phone was blowing up, emails from the cloud saying, you got a check in your car? You got another check in your car? You got another check in your
That's
car?
the first one that goes into this
Boy,
telephone.
oh, yeah.
Right.
Aren't I happy to know?
Yeah,
All of us
way to
get
start out my
Get out
day.
of that.
Puts you in a great mood. Bunch of reading.
I think it should just say, you should check brain function. That's what I think mine should.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wait, does it tell you, like, to track your truck?
Yeah, it tells me truck, yeah, it gives me location, it gives me what the possible fault is, and what time, where the shops are around you.
So it gives you a code?
Yeah, it gives me the whole deal.
Oh, that's on this.
Started at 6:53. Yep.
All these go in that yellow. Oh, which ones? No, it was only about, yeah, everything since that cliff. Those all go in the old folder.
They'll sort that.
We have to figure out the puzzle.
We've shuffled them more.
I was just waiting. I think all of it goes in there because we don't have the two folders. Thank you. Yeah.
Got mine. Hit the restroom before you go outside.
Yeah, because you'll want to when you go outside.
I don't think you're gonna be out there.
But
You're
Mark
not
said it
going out
was,
to take pictures?
so Mark said it was 2.4 degrees, so
Oh.
well, that's
Right.
We're at that camera warmed up
It's
already.
warmed up to 4.5
4.5.
already. Yeah.
Get out there, he says, my wind's fogged up, wait a few minutes.
Catch the other side of me walking away.
My round table would be, I was supposed to get up with the city about drop-off area and what it takes on that property up there for, yeah.
Oh, for the, get it zoned, or
Yeah.
not zoned, but.
Plotted.
Plotted, yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't do that. I don't have an excuse other than.
Good enough.
That leaves the job for later, no?
One reason I get hold of the street superintendent, 'cause I figured he's busy with snow and whatnot. Yeah, that'd be hard to look out there at the pavement with all that snow on there trying to decide where to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just dropped the ball on all of it.
Sound like it needed delayed. Should we all had enough to deal with for a little while.
I haven't touched base with one individual, and I will next day or two. We need to just talk about that, the 29th instead of the 27th.
I think we just need to decide whether we're gonna sell the whole shooting match or whether you wanna split it up into threes, and that was the reason I was supposed to go to City Hall, is to see how that's accomplished, so. If it was a major hurdle or what, I did not do that.
So, regardless which way we go, what's everybody think? Sealed bids, or?
I think keep it fair. I mean, I know he's the first one to ask, but at least you got the discussion going, so.
I visited with him today, he expects, you know,
Something to happen.
yeah, I mean, something along that line.
See it midway.
Yeah,
Which makes sense.
yeah, I mean, he's not
Yeah, and I think he was just,
wanting to do it.
I think he was just probing to see what needed to be done, and what he could do.
I think he's probably been sitting there for
Long time.
3 decades, probably. Or more.
Yeah.
Might as well get something on the tax roll, whether it be 2 houses, 3 houses.
Yeah.
I agree.
One's better than none.
I think it's definitely
Yeah.
his plan that he would sell part of it, is the way I understood.
I think definitely have Manchester tree with it.
I myself think that 3 lots would be
About perfect. I think.
perfect.
Give us 3 of the houses
Plenty of
that
room.
nice room.
Yeah. I think, like I say, you've got precedence here in Burlington where somebody owns a whole city block, if you will, because they don't want any neighbors.
Right.
Which means there's, I shouldn't say, I guess it'd be half of a city block, I mean, about from the alley to the street, but it's
Yeah.
still 7 lots, they own 7 lots.
Right.
Personally, I don't know. I mean, 2 lots is about perfect in town to build on,
Mhm.
which that's, these are 100 by 100 at best,
I see.
for that ordinance. Mine are 110 or 20 by 100. And that's, needs to be ample.
Yeah.
Most of the blocks are in town, they got 10 lots in them, or how?
7.
7?
Are they gonna be on time, or is their meeting gonna go longer than they expected?
I think they were going right until 11:30, but they know, I saw Warren just a second ago. Did you? Yeah. You're up.
Yeah, it's waiting on me. I'm sneaking in.
Morning, Warren.
Morning. 16?
Yes, sir.
Picked a heck of a day for groundbreaking, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we
I
need
think it picked
we need to
us.
have a pick, Warren, or you know?
When we scheduled it, it wasn't supposed to be this bad, so.
It shouldn't be frozen. He's had 4 layers of concrete blankets on it for about a week and a half.
Good morning. We just had our, the official, we call it a kickoff, construction kickoff coordination meeting for, the new Coffee County Law Enforcement Center project. Actually had a pretty good turnout despite the weather. I don't know, maybe a dozen and a half, guys, attending, in person, and, probably about the same amount, dialed in. We made it a virtual meeting. Sheriff was down there. He actually brought up some good points, reminding everyone about the Wolf Creek outage that's coming up here. So if early subcontractors needing a place to stay, you better find it now, or they're going to be hard to find. So we have started construction. The preliminary schedule that we put together as part of our bid documents we shared with you guys. We had, it's a sort of a terrible time to start work. We had a start date of December 27th. We actually did start on December 29th. Skillman Construction, who is doing our the mass excavation and all the site utilities, as well as topsoil and seeding, they started really well, and now weather has hit. So we do have 10 weather days built in to our the excavation portion of this job. Between excavation, I think we have another 7 for masonry, another 7 for steel, and some more for the enclosure activity. So we do have some weather contingency built in. We'd hate to use it all in these first couple of weeks, but they did get off started on a good foot. Our next main activity that's coming down the pipe, it's a little ways out. We show a start date of February 16th for foundations. I believe we've got rebar shops already submitted, Concrete Unlimited out of Topeka. They're going to be our foundation flatwork sub. They're on board with everything, so essentially the next steps for Skillman is we're nearly complete with our site demo right now, but it's basically start the building pad. We have to undercut the building by approximately 2 foot, bring in a low volume change layer, and once that's in, Concrete Unlimited can start. What we don't know yet is those existing courthouse foundations. We do have an allowance set up in the project cost of $70,000. If we run into them, that allowance money should be used to remove and haul off. So
The only place you'd hit that now, though, Warren, would just be your footings with it.
yeah,
Because you got the flat work.
well, they're going to have to undercut what's out there to bring up your low volume change layer. It's basically a 2 foot layer underneath the building. We'll know it once we start cutting that out to grade. So, and
Looks good so far.
Yeah. Sometimes you get lucky and won't hit anything. We'll more to come on that. So we don't know yet. So. But other than that, it's, work has started. So, still got a decent budget left for the courthouse renovation portion of this, and we'll expect to see something from Goldberg later in the year on some plans for that. So, any questions?
Do you have a warm heated tent out there for us?
No, we don't.
No is the answer?
It was -9 in Ottawa this morning when I left. Walked out, started my truck, I was already frozen, a little walk back into the hotel, so, crazy.
Or maybe either you or Cole or both of you, the perimeter fence around the construction site, it's, not all the way up. My understanding is there's gonna be, the sidewalk's gonna be blocked off,
Mm-hmm.
but there's gonna be a path on the outside in the street that's gonna be.
Yes, it's gonna be like a fence path
Right.
out there, so where the parking was. Yeah, we did, through National Rent-A-Fence, we did start our construction fencing. Weather caught them, and they were unable to finish. I know Ryan's on the phone with a gentleman named Mark Baker on getting back out here to finish that. He did talk to Mark Davidson with the city of Burlington, got Mark's approval on how he is arranging the construction fencing and keeping pedestrian traffic going east to west along the ocean. So that has been coordinated with the city of Burlington. So.
And there will be gates that are gonna be on what portions? I know there's a gate by the salary portion.
I know there's a gate, right on all sides, isn't there?
We'll have a gate on the corner of 7th and our job site coming into that first parking area. We'll have one at the main entrance over by our trailer. We'll have one on the south side by where the parking is currently. We're leaving that parking in for the time being. And then we'll have a walk-through gate at the sheriff's office door.
Which means pedestrian access is not gonna be available. There'll be hard hat areas, if I understand correctly.
Inside the construction fence is hard hat areas, yep.
I just wanna, so it's.
Oh, no, that's good point. And, anytime you guys wanna, once we get going and, hey, I wanna tour the job and stuff like that, we'll have hard hats for everybody. All we ask is that, people are checked in, letting us know you're on site, so we can keep track of people out there.
So there'll still be access to the courthouse off the west side
Yes.
of the building over here.
Yeah, so we'll have a man gate, so we're not, so we have to quickly go to the sheriff's office to look something up or whatever, or into the courthouse.
And as far as public access, the stairs, down the stairs and then back up the ramp is still open as well.
That'll be the access to the sheriff's office.
Correct.
Mhm.
Not exactly. The sidewalk has to remain because you have to keep ADA compliance.
Right.
Because that's gonna be access to the sheriff's office if somebody needs to bond out or you have, so I talked with Ryan about that and I think they're gonna put the fence on the outside of the.
That's a sidewalk up top, sort of around that little,
Mhm.
the ramp area,
Right.
outside the overhang, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
More we could update our site logistics with like that.
Mhm. Easy, yeah.
And you're gonna have one-way traffic, if I remember correctly, from the street, the west street along the parking lot, that's gonna be an in and an out, one way
Yes.
for the city and the school,
Yeah.
for drop off, is that 7th Street?
Yes.
You guys met
That'll be
with the
one way.
superintendent at the school, didn't you?
Yes, we did. And he was very willing, very helpful working with us. And I haven't personally seen how it's gone, but hopefully, he implemented, I think, the second week back after Christmas.
I was gonna say, that's already in
Right.
the progress, yeah.
So your delivery trucks are gonna come in this northwest corner right here at the courthouse, the first entrance?
Yep.
That'll be your delivery trucks that's gonna offload equipment and rebar and
Yes.
brick, whatever needed. And then it'll one way to the south and then back back east?
You get my bearings straight here.
You're facing straight
Northwest corner. I mean, pretty much, we'll call it the northeast corner of the job.
Northeast
That's where a
corner
lot-
of the job.
Yeah, that's where a lot of the traffic should come in and then immediately out.
So you're gonna leave, so you're gonna come in this entrance over here, the northeast corner of the job site, come through, and then out this way?
Depending on the delivery and truck size, we plan to utilize that north, our parking or lay down right in front of the trailer mostly, and enter on what would be the east side, the school side, and coming out, or vice versa, and going around. If we have to, we'll use the south.
That logistics plan Gabe was talking about, we're gonna update that, provide you guys at the next time we meet.
I mean, 'cause you're gonna be bringing some big equipment in
Oh,
here
yeah.
as well, and you're gonna need a lot of room to maneuver that equipment.
Yes.
Some of it might even be dropped out on the street as far as the big equipment goes, because you can't physically turn in.
Right.
And we chipped all those curves out so we could get a little bit bigger trailers in.
Bring a big crane in, that's gonna, unless it's on wheels.
And it'll probably be a crawler.
Yeah, that's what I figured, it's gonna be a crawler, so
Mhm.
that's gonna be a long setup.
Yeah.
That'll have to probably be offloaded right out on the street would be my guess.
Initially. So. Good question.
I'm in transportation, so.
I can. Anyone,
32 years.
anyone else? Well, thank you very much.
Your influx of people initially, and I know at the peak of construction, if I remember right, you said it'd be around 65 people on the ground.
That'll probably be max. Yeah, that'll be when we're still doing, probably veneer brick and we've got every trade on the inside of the building started. Yeah, that'll probably be max. 50 to 60, probably good average, so.
So my question on that sparks another question, if I can interrupt. Where are they gonna be parking at?
So we had talked, and over here on Niagara, where it's open right now, we had talked with the school about they requested that parking be shifted to Niagara, but that sort of was something that became less of an option because when construction gets in its peak, I think the suggestion is that whoever comes in, they park over on Niagara and then walk over here, because if we have all the courthouse parking and if we have a trial, parking is gonna be at a premium for the next 18 months and maybe beyond.
That was brought up in our kickoff meeting. Right now, it's just side street parking, is what we're gonna deal with, but, we need to fine tune that, a plan for that, as more people come on board.
You're probably gonna have your peak construction or peak people are probably gonna be in the summer? Would that?
It'll be this fall.
This fall?
Yeah, it'll be this fall,
School
later
back.
part of the year.
School will be back in session, so we still have limited parking area.
Actually, probably after the first of, probably January 2025.
2025.
Yeah, we're gonna be going hard at it on the inside then too, so. Yeah, we're still, we did bring that topic up and, a little more to figure out on that, so. We'd love to park over here at the parking lot we just put
That
in.
nice parking lot?
Yeah.
Just don't put any big trucks on that thing, please.
I thought that's what we're building it for.
Yeah. Our high dollar parking area. No, that parking spot's nice, that parking lot's nice.
You have the nice wide, stalls too.
It's, yeah.
Yeah, we made them an extra foot wider, so,
Yeah.
I mean, I think, seeming like they're 10, maybe even 11. Makes it easier to get in and out of your vehicle, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
As
You
long
can
as
stay in the
people-
skinny parking spot.
As long as people can park, that's the main thing. You can have a 30-foot parking stall, and if somebody can't park correctly, it's gonna be tight for somebody.
That person that got the house on the north side of our new parking lot, church parking I got, is he a undersheriff or work for sheriff department?
Possibly.
Like, I guess I'm thinking maybe, I mean, there's quite an open space there yet that we could be possibly used if we spoke to the person. I don't know. That owns it?
We can look into it. That's a great location.
It would be.
It's a gravel lot.
I was gonna say, there's still
We'd
gravel.
use it, and, if we gotta repair it down the road and, spread a little gravel and make it look like it did when we took it over, absolutely. That would
Just a
be,
thought.
that'd be fantastic, actually.
But I think I see a sheriff's vehicle parked there, so I know she either sold it or she's rented it out on it too.
I know when we were doing the off-site parking work out there, we were told to treat that lady with kid gloves and, do whatever she says, 'cause.
She's moved since then.
Okay.
It's not the same person,
I got you.
I believe. So that's the reason I brought it up.
Mm-hmm.
But she was accommodating while that project was going on, so.
Yeah. That's an ideal location.
Be a great place for people to park.
Food for thought.
Okay. I'll let Ryan know.
And I wasn't ignoring you earlier, I was trying to find that drawing of where the fence was gonna go out there. I must have misplaced it or.
Ryan had something.
That's the old one. It's been revised.
Oh, it's been revised, okay.
This one, so.
This is changing a little bit, but not much.
Because I thought that sidewalk leading along that ramp to the basement, if you will, was to remain open.
Yeah, it changed a little bit. Overall, that's the gist of it. We'll reissue,
I was just curious, so.
but that sidewalk.
Because I noticed this morning when I came in, there's caution tape. You can't get down that sidewalk on the west side of the ramp going to the basement.
Right.
And I thought it was to remain open.
I think originally, fortunately, it wasn't taken out, but originally, it was in the plans to remove, and then that got discussed, and it's staying now, at least, until there's some alternative way to get into the sheriff's office. I guess when the new facility's built, and I was just,
Does show the move, I believe.
We do need to provide something to all the subs, so, they're not dropping kids off here and a steel truck pulls in the wrong way down Des Moines and, so everyone knows.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure there'll be issues.
Oh, there will be, I guarantee it. No matter how well we plan.
Mr. Goldberg, how are you, sir?
Very good. Hi, Commissioners.
Morning.
Day is coming.
Picked a great day to come to Burlington, Kansas. Nice and warm, sunny.
It looks like Larry's well clothed up.
We've got about 6 layers on underneath what you see.
Time we supposed to be down here, say 11:45?
Whenever you guys want to.
Well, I don't want to be tased by the sheriff, so we gotta
That's,
be on time.
we're 1 minute late right now.
Okay. I'll be the last person. What do we gotta do? We gonna recess? What do we do?
I'm gonna go grab my jacket.
No, I think you're still,
You too.
you're going down for,
Groundbreaking
Groundbreaking,
ceremony for the sheriff's office.
Yep.
We'll be back.
Leave our video alone.
Probably the longest drive of your life in Kansas City, huh?
The hat on? Put my gloves on?
I'll drive in.
Yeehaw.
This is really warm.
Going.
Don't need to be slicked out. There weren't that thing in generation static electricity in Riverland.
Sir, good seeing you. Been a few days.
Supposed to be a bit, anyway. It's all the young generation. That's been a minute.
I better turn around and say, early? Oh. I was gonna say, why if I didn't want to take the coat off and go back out. On their way to the seat. Yeah. I wouldn't have went to that game if they did.
I know. I told him I watched it in front of 80-inch TV in front of the fire.
He did that with a non-frozen beer.
Yes.
That's just like that game in,
What, Buffalo?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
That is
That
miserable in
kind of
itself.
Is that the couch?
It's warmed up to 6.3 degrees.
6.3.
Yeah.
I'll forward it to you.
We lost Dawn and Wade. Ah, caramba.
Nippy.
Yeah. Indeed. Invigorate.
Invigorating. I was like that, a polar plunge today.
Yeah.
Oh, smoke.
Break your neck.
I didn't throw any dirt anyway today.
No, you controlled yourself. Of course, we didn't have 60-mile-an-hour winds like we did that day.
Yeah, all right.
That concludes our agenda. Now it's roundtable. Unless Wade's got more stuff for us, we start with Wade.
Nope, I covered the majority of what I wanted to cover. The last thing is on the UDO sale. I don't know if one of the comments we were waiting on. So title work. That title work should be, once I get a file, stamped copy of the document from the district court, then we should be able to set the closing. I've notified Jerry at Coffee Land Title. I spoke with Mr. Abendroth yesterday, so that should be able to occur relatively soon, hopefully, within the next week or so, week, 2 weeks. Why I mention it is I'll just need to have the chairman available, and I'll set it up at a date and time when you're available, Jesse.
Just call me.
So that was the last thing on my list.
And the SSM project?
That document is a companion document. Basically, it's a lien release. So I don't know what needs to occur for that one to finalize. But there's going to be a lien release on the Abendroth property and the SSM property.
Okay. Steve, do you have anything for the roundtable?
I don't.
Don?
No, fine.
Wade?
No, sir.
Tom?
I talked about mine earlier. I'll make sure I get up with the city on both of those matters this week for sure.
Angie?
Just be thinking about what you guys want to do for cost of living for next week or whatever, so we can get those put in for this month.
Okay.
And then I've been working with the Time Clock Plus people to get things started by January 23rd. Because of the way it was housed, or the hosting site or whatever, through CIC, we've had issues with it, but we're switching over to Time Clock Plus hosting it, so there won't be as many issues, we hope, but there will be times there's going to be issues. And we have a department head meeting today to discuss different topics, that being one of them. And I think some department heads think it needs to be perfect before we even get started, but we're going to have to just go with it, because it's never going to be perfect if we don't just get started.
Yeah.
They said if we don't start today and we wait 3 months, we're going to be at the same place we are today.
Deal with the same issues.
Yes, and so they said you might as well just get going. We'll have daily adjustments. We're going to have a whole month, and we're also going to run paper with it. So to hold it up and hold it up and hold it up is just not going to be feasible. We'll never get it going.
Yeah, all we're doing is kicking the can down the street.
Exactly. So that is all in the works. They do have it, I believe, they called and said they have it hosted with Time Clock Plus now, and then there will be a delay on, or an interruption, I should say, next Monday, for them to do some work in the background to get it ready to go for the 23rd, and that's when everybody's sick and vacation time will be imported into the Time Clock Plus. I think there might be some confusion out there what all Time Clock Plus can do. It's just a time clock keeping system, so there's nothing extra it's going to do. It's basically the paper timesheet in a computer format. So it's not, I mean, there will be some reports they can run to double check, but that's all it's set up to do. So anyway, so we will discuss that at the department head meeting today, like I said, with a few other topics. So and I think that's all I have, other than just thinking about the COLA, because we'll have to move quickly to get that implemented before we run payroll. So.
Well, from my perspective on the COLA, it's like 2012 was at, 2013 was above, say 0.2%. 2014 was above by 1%. 2015 was above by almost 2%. 2016, 2% above. 2017, 0.2% above. Same in 18, 19, again above. We didn't do anything in 2020, that was the onset of COVID. Everybody was feeling a crunch. I believe the commission at that time even took a $3,000 a year cut in pay. I think that was a year.
Yeah, that was
a year
it.
after.
It's been 3 years.
in order to show our concerns about the economy and where things were headed. 2021, with a 30-cent raise, which was still above the 1.1, roughly by my calculations. 2022 was below, but not by an astronomical amount. And 2023 was at, which is 6%, which was a substantial raise for pretty much everyone across the board. And for our salary study, I believe our employees are at or above, basically, I forget what they call it.
Medium.
Yeah, but it's a good paying job for the size of the community. We're fortunate to have what we have, so. That was just my analysis so far, so just.
Those first 8 years you was talking about, starting with 2011 or 12, if you have the percentage of increases up compared to CPI, I think the percentage of increase total 5 or 6% greater than what CPI is.
Correct.
You know, need to, all of us need to just sit down and try to come up with this idea that would work best for the county, as was best for employees. We got a good set of employees and we gotta take care of it, but also respect the expense part of it too.
Right. Employees are a very valuable asset.
Yeah.
Harder to replace.
You got homework to do.
Yep.
More numbers. Only round table I have, I went to the north property, went in the house, checked things out. My only concern was the upstairs temperature was not set, inside temperature wasn't where it was set at. It was about 15 degrees colder upstairs than what the thermostat set should have been set at. I bumped the basement up, heat rises to help with the cold.
Okay.
Everything looks good there. There's a lot of snow on top of the swimming pool. A lot.
So it's separate zones.
Yep, separate zones, yep. So, maybe soon as the cold gets over with and so on and so forth, might have to bring somebody in to check out
See what the reason.
see what the reason is. I'm not heated in there person.
Does the pool still got water in it?
It's got some.
Some
It's
good. Is it
back
got tarp over it?
Yeah,
I figured we really appreciate what you have done and making sure that property is maintained in good shape. Jesse, we really appreciate it.
Thanks, but that's just part of it, but we fully intended on having somebody in there, by now to oversee the issues if there is, and that backfired in our face, so.
Well, maybe it's happening soon.
I'm gonna make a phone call and see what timeline we have before we have somebody with SSM pen to paper to get something locked in. I would suggest, I personally just like to see them go ahead and purchase the property and get away from it and let them have at it. And then if they wanna sell it in the future, they sell it in the future. We'd have to run a market value and so on and so forth. I don't really know how you could put it out for sealed bids where it's already been put towards them, so. There has been interest in the property once upon a time, but it wasn't an outright purchase. But,
I think depending on what the plan is moving forward with that property, with the understanding that if that land in the backyard is developed, it may substantially impact what the overall value of that property is. So if somebody has in mind they want to purchase it right now, I mean, if it holds a certain price and value right now, that may be impacted
later on
down the road, and depending on what happens, if somebody's okay with that, that's one thing. But to have the view that you have right now versus what it may be, that it's gonna potentially be substantially impacted, and where there's a building basically right adjacent to the property line. And
Yeah, where the lagoon is.
yeah, so,
Best scenario is if someone involved in the project owns it, I mean, in my mind, or.
but that also goes into the conversation, so when people think about that property on the outside, they understand that's part of the conversation that's going on the inside. Because I'm sure somebody on the outside looks at it and sees it for what it is right now, and it has, I don't know what the value is, but let's say $1.5 million. Well, is it gonna hold that same value several years from now if there's a factory in the backyard?
Mm-hmm.
And I think having that conversation and having it go out so people can conceptualize that makes a whole lot of sense right now. But having a vacant property is not ideal either.
No,
Right.
never what we want.
Especially in the middle of weather like this, you really think long and hard about it.
I would say if it does sell to an individual, I would like to redo the property line because they're gonna be having to move the lagoon further south to get onto the quote property line and include the big pond to the west with the property, make everything go west with the property to include the big pond.
Yeah, I think the big pond makes a big difference. I really do.
It has value.
It does.
I can speak from experience, while in the swimming pool, you look out and it looks like a continuous swimming pool with the big pond off to the west. So to have that house in that area right there, not to include the big pond would be a big shot in the big toe, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree.
Well, I thought from the original conversation was that big pond might be of use for raw water supply or something, but I don't know if that's still in talks or not.
I think it was at the beginning, but I think with the way things have kind of turned with the water supply towards that and the capability, I think some of that's changed, but I don't know.
Yeah.
You start pumping out of it, it'd be pretty limited.
It'd go especially in a dry year like we had last dry year.
Yeah.
I will say that pond held water pretty good for as dry as it was last year. So,
Look like it.
for not as much drainage that goes into it.
It's probably filled up now with all the rain they've had through there, isn't it?
Do what?
Is it filled up now with all the rain?
Oh, yes.
Been through Lebo?
Yeah.
That was an old quarry.
Old quarry or dirt pit for the
Dirt pit,
city
yeah.
highway project. Years and years and
Years
years ago.
ago.
Other than that, that's all I have.
Wade, is this, Louis,
Yes, sir.
is this out for advertisement?
Yes.
Okay. Send this,
It should have been in last week's paper, should be in this week's paper, should be in the following week's
Okay.
It
paper.
was.
The custodian,
I didn't. May just missed it. And then, one day when Skipper was in here, he was talking about, tourism's funding comes from bed tax from the motel. In today's world, do VRBOs have to pay a bed tax?
I can't answer that.
I think it was set up on the number of beds you have originally. Like if there were 9 beds or 10 beds, it had to be bed tax. But unless you guys changed something, that's how it was originally set up.
There's quite a few of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's the way that things are going nowadays. I mean, everybody wants a house you just hang out in for the week or whatever.
I think in some
Motel is-
places they do tax.
VRBOs, Airbnbs.
to some extent, and it may happen here, but I'm not in tune with what those rules are.
Just a thought for tourism part of it all.
I know in Florida, for example, Florida has some specific, I don't know if they're local rules or if they're state rules, but the owner of property where you have rentals, they're required to pay a local tax of some sort.
Well, I know of one location, got several, probably has at least 9 beds, if not 10 or 15 in it, that's used as a hunting lodge.
Well, there's where I'm getting at.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not trying to criticize or dip into their pockets, I'm just saying. I don't know, if the motel gets charged a bed tax, I mean, can we, is that something the county can do, or should we do, or just food for thought?
Look into
Plant
it
a
and
seed.
see, you're talking about the transient,
What the regulation
Sales tax.
is on it.
or the transient tax.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's several of them, I think.
And it's growing, that's something that's growing
Massively.
fast and furious.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, it was similar to internet sales where you wouldn't have to pay local sales tax because you were buying something from out of state, and now that's changed.
Yeah, it's destination tax now.
Yeah, you just had the law had to catch up with that type of.
Figure out a way to capture it.
Yeah.
What's the normal bed tax? $3, 4, 5?
I do not know.
I haven't
Never had it.
I don't know if you can Google it, or not.
I know it's one that your tax exempt status from the county won't override. You have to pay it regardless.
Right.
3%,
2%?
3
3.
transient guest tax rates.
$100 be a $3 bill.
Yeah.
Mhm. It's what I come up with Google real quick, so.
You can look into it.
What's, yeah. Who, does it start there, does it start here, does it start here?
Wherever, I mean, I'm willing to do what I can, or I don't know.
Probably a question for the Department of Revenue would be
Yeah.
the starting point. And
Okay.
see, you know,
Good idea.
they're the ones that regulate that.
Do you want me to do that, Wade, or are you?
You can reach out, you probably have access to a quick contact, and then I guess we can
I can get with you after
follow
that.
up.
I mean, I don't know that would cover, and I don't even know what you want them to cover, your hunting lodges. That wouldn't be registered with the Airbnb.
No.
Size. That would be more along the lines of your county, appraiser that goes out and says, well, that's true.
It's through zoning, Airbnbs are through zoning. I'm assuming that hunting lodges too. Special use permit.
Right, yeah, what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But I mean, they built a big place. I think all big.
Yeah.
Mark just found where ours started in 1998 for the guest bed tax.
And that was county started? Yeah.
Just a thought.
Once again, planting more seeds.
Well, trying to help fund the tourism part of it to where, you know, something does land here, if a new motel lands here, then he's got it at this Star Bond grant where he's gotta add something to go on the motel, then how you're gonna fund it, well, it's tourism. All they draw in from tourism would help fund that, so. That's where my money was headed.
Right. Well, if they're short on funds, because we've lost some
Motel.
revenue, so, yeah.
True, but But by the same token, you're gaining hunting lodges, Airbnbs, and all these other things.
Oh, that's what I mean, we need to try to recapture that, great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I had.
Okay.
I knew there was more, I just,
My stall tactic worked.
yeah, thanks.
Well, if nobody has anything else, going once, going twice, we'll adjourn at 12:21. Thank you, have a safe week.
Would be wonderful to see you all again.
Yeah, it'll feel like summertime.
Yeah, there's